Today we're going to take a look at Police Academy. I have a VHS copy of the original Police Academy movie, the one that started it all. And what I mean by that is, this came out in 1984, but by 1990, I think, they had already made 6 Police Academy movies, 5 sequels to this in 6 years. And then they made a 7th one in 1994. Not only that, but Police Academy also had a cartoon spin-off and a Marvel Comics spin-off of that cartoon spin-off. Then it got a live-action reboot series, Police Academy the series, which came out in the late 90s. And they've been struggling to bring this back and make another, legacy sequel or whatever, or reboot. For the last 20 years, they've been trying to bring Police Academy back. And that kind of baffles me. I mean, not to ruin the ending of this video, but this is a really dumb movie. Back in 1984, though, I was like 13 years old, so I thought it was hilarious. It's the appropriate level of humor for a 13-year-old. There's a lot of sex jokes in here, a lot of kind of sexist jokes in here, some racial stereotype kind of stuff. Hey, it was 1984. There's a lot of way better movies that did way worse. Speaking of better movies, this is 1984. Phenomenal year for movies, actually. I was looking through the list of the highest grossing movies of 1984. Police Academy was number 5. Number 1, you got Ghostbusters. Then you get Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom at number 2. Number 3 is Gremlins. Number 4 is The Karate Kid. And then you get Police Academy. It is certainly not the 5th best movie of 1984, but 5th highest grossing anyway. It beat out movies like Footloose, Star Trek 3, Friday the 13th Part 4, The Last Starfighter, Conan the Destroyer, Beverly Hills Cop. Police Academy made more money than Beverly Hills Cop. On a scale of funny, Beverly Hills Cop is this funny, Police Academy is about that funny. The humor, or the style of humor in Police Academy kind of reminds me of a cross between Airplane and Stripes. Now, it's kind of like Airplane because it has rapid fire, humor in there, joke a minute kind of thing, and you don't want to think about it too much because you're already laughing at the next joke, so all these jokes just go by, and it's comedy. It's a screwball comedy. It's not as extreme and as kind of wacky as Airplane was, but it has that kind of breakneck pace, And the reason I compare it to Stripes is because, our main protagonist in Police Academy is Steve Guttenberg, and he plays this slacker guy that's run out of options, and so he has to join the Police Academy, and he's got this hard-ass sergeant that's trying to kick him out, and meanwhile he's trying to get kicked out, but they won't let him get kicked out, so he has to go through the Police Academy training program and all this, and a similar thing as to, Harold Ramis and Bill Murray in Stripes. Steve Guttenberg isn't nearly as funny as either of those guys, but he's there, and he got the part. One other thing I noticed when I was looking up, some info about Police Academies, Bruce Willis actually auditioned for the role of Officer Mahoney in Police Academy. Can you imagine that weird alternate universe? Would Police Academy have been as successful? More successful? Would we have gotten Die Hard if Bruce Willis got hired in Police Academy? Don't get me wrong, I'm not a huge Bruce Willis fan, but it would have probably been just that much better. But okay, Police Academy is not a terrible movie. Premise of it is this. The mayor of an unspecified city has to deal with the problem of astronomical crime rate in the city. And as a response to this, it's going to open up the gates of the police academy to anybody that wants to become a police officer. So all kinds of people can apply. It's, regardless of income or race or, physical ability or even intellectual capability. So they let in a bunch of, well, let's call them losers, right? Because that's what it's supposed to be. It's a collection of wacky characters that all go to the police academy for one reason or another, and they have to go through the motions of learning all the police duties and stuff, and thereby setting up a bunch of jokes. It is what it is. And then, they have to graduate from the police academy at the end of the film. And meanwhile, there's like a big riot at the end of the film, which is actually kind of funny. There's some action stuff in there, some stunts, and like I said, jokes. Every minute there's a joke. Every minute. And they're delivered by, your cast of characters, of course. Steve Guttenberg is the star. Kim Cattrall is in this movie as well. Her role in it, though, she just kind of becomes a damsel in distress in this, and she's just kind of there to be the object of Guttenberg's desire, I suppose. You get the hard-ass Lieutenant Harris. G.W. Bailey, I believe is the actor's name. He's in like every Police Academy movie going forward from this, as far as I know. You get the sound effects guy, Michael Winslow. I don't know if he does like beatboxing and stuff, and he does all the sound effects, which I'm not going to try and replicate because I can't do that. But if you know about Police Academy, you know about the sound effects guy, right? Then you get Hightower, played by Bubba Smith. Then you get Cadet Hooks. She's pretty funny. She just because she's very timid and she's very quiet, and and the whole movie it's building her up to be like this big wimp, and she's like, oh, she's afraid of everything, and then at the end when she's got to arrest somebody, she's like, freeze, dirtbag, and you get the most notable one in there too. I think is probably Cadet Tackleberry, and David Graff, I believe is the actor's name. He's a gun nut. He's like a former security guard, and he takes his job very seriously, and he just like wishes he was in the army, but for whatever reason, I guess because he's crazy, they won't let him in the military, and he has a billion guns and like shooting guns all the time. And then probably the funniest guy in here is the just kind of like sort of senile, dumbass kind of commandant. And he's a nice guy, and he does want to see like these kind of misfits. He wants to see them all succeed in the police academy. And also there's another like sexy female lieutenant that is in charge of training the recruits, and she falls in love with why am I telling you all this? Who cares? I mean, this story means nothing in this. It's all about the jokes. And I gotta say, for a movie that's almost 4 years old, when I went back and I watched it, I actually found myself laughing out loud a couple times, which is really kind of odd. I mean, not just the like, No, I'm talking about like laugh my ass off for a minute or so over some of the jokes, which I'm not even going to tell you because like you might not find it funny, and like why ruin the joke for you, right? But I guess when it comes to overall laughs, I guess about 80% of the jokes kind of 40 years later don't really hit their mark, but about 20% of them do. So it's not bad. I mean, like I went back and I watched Cannonball Run, and when I watched that, I mean, there was a movie that I thought was really funny when I was a kid, but I went back and I watched it and I was like, watch that review if you want to, if you care about Cannonball Run. But that one was a failure. This one is struggling, but it's not terrible. I mean, Police Academy, there's a reason why there were 7 movies and 2 TV series and a potential reboot and a comic book. And, I may not laugh at all of the jokes, but somebody will laugh at some of the jokes. So I don't really have much else to say about it, so I'm just going to say this. I think that overall, Police Academy, 38 years later, kind of holds up. But I would overall give it, I think, C+. like a C plus, like, hey, I remember this, and I remember laughing at this, and it actually surprised me that I got a few laughs out of it this time. But still, the overall experience was kind of like, I could have watched something better than this. Now, I do have a sealed VHS copy of Police Academy 2. I'm saving that one for a special occasion. I mean, the special occasion was going to be like, okay, I'm going to watch Police Academy 1 first, and then, maybe watch this one after that. I think I will watch that one. I mean, I'm not going to be in a big hurry because I wasn't all that impressed with Police Academy. But just to, maybe I could make it a new collection. Get all those movies on VHS and just to say, I have all 7 Police Academy movies, dude. I mean, I could probably pay $5 and get them all on one DVD at Walmart or something like that. And until next time, have a good one, everybody.